This place is mine now, Mom. You're not allowed inside anymore. Your key won't work, so you might as well get rid of it. My daughter let out a laugh as she noticed me clutching the key. My belongings were stacked at the front door. I couldn't grasp why she was treating me this way, especially since I was still mourning my husband's passing. I was lost, uncertain of everything. My name is Susan, and I'm 60 years old. My husband recently passed away after a prolonged illness. His funeral was attended by many, all of them sharing their memories of him. We sent him off with smiles instead of tears, just as he would have wanted, but even surrounded by support, a deep sadness lingered within me. We have a daughter, Emily. She got married and moved far away, rarely visiting, even on special occasions. At her father's funeral, she only stayed for a brief moment before leaving. Before she got married, Emily was always close to us. She used to say that the idea of living far from home was unbearable. Even though we encouraged her to seek independence after finding a job, she believed meals tasted better when shared with family. Although I often came home late from work, we always made time to eat together on my days off. Maybe she said all of this to comfort her father, who was growing weaker. We were grateful for her thoughtfulness. Then, out of nowhere, Emily informed us she was getting married. The paperwork was done quickly, and soon she left our home in a hurry. It took us by surprise. We had only met her partner once, briefly. They seemed to genuinely care for each other, and we wished Emily nothing but happiness, without interfering. But after her wedding, Emily stopped contacting us. We were concerned and reached out daily, sending messages and making calls, but heard nothing. Eventually, she answered, sounding irritated, and told us to stop bothering her. She even joked that she'd only talk to us if we sent her money. Her voice was slurred as though she had been drinking. My husband overheard the conversation and simply sighed. It was clear her behavior had changed, influenced by her husband. After that, my husband never mentioned Emily again. A few years later, she shamelessly asked us for financial help due to her struggles. That was the last time she saw her father. In the time we had left together, my husband and I created many cherished memories. We traveled and picked up new hobbies whenever his health allowed. Eventually, he passed away. Upon returning from his funeral, I was stunned to find movers, under Emily's instructions, stacking my things outside. They were just leaving them in a corner by the door. When Emily noticed me, she said, "Well, Mom, this isn't your home anymore. I've packed your things. You should find somewhere else before it rains and your stuff gets ruined." "Emily, why are you doing this? What's going on? Please explain," I asked, bewildered by the situation. "What's there to explain? You know what this is about. This house was meant for Emily after Dad passed. Don't pretend like you don't know." A tall man emerged from behind her. His name is Ollie, Emily's husband. Meeting him had completely changed Emily. When we first met, we thought he was just an ordinary guy working a regular job. Later, we learned about his questionable dealings, and we were at a loss as to how our once honest Emily ended up with someone like him. Since then, they kept us at arm's length. A few years back, they unexpectedly visited and shamelessly asked my husband for money. I was deeply unsettled, but my husband remained calm and mentioned a will I hadn't known about. It outlined that the house would go to Emily, but everything else would be left to me. Now that Dad's gone, the house belongs to Emily. You don't have any rights here, so you'd better move out quickly, Ollie said as he kicked my belongings aside. "But, you can't just come here out of nowhere," I stammered. Seeing my things piled outside, I felt completely disoriented. Now, Ollie, don't be too rough on Mom. She shouldn't stay here, but we're still family, right? Emily smirked as she stepped closer, noticing I was still holding the key. "Don't be sad, you'll always be my mom, and you can visit anytime, just use the key, but don't get too attached." With that, she grabbed the key from my hand and threw it far into the distance. "What are you doing?" I cried out as the key sailed out of sight. I was shocked by her sudden action. "Oh, calm down, that key wouldn't have worked anyway. We changed the locks earlier. No point holding on to something useless." She shrugged. "I just saved you the trouble. Don't make a fuss over nothing." Emily and Ollie glanced at each other, then broke into laughter. Emily's face, now hardened and unrecognizable, showed how far she'd go for her own gain. As I fought back tears, I thought of my husband's gentle smile, urging me to stay strong. "Emily, I understand what you're trying to say, but you're mistaken. This isn't the place for this conversation. Let's go inside and talk," I pleaded, hoping to find some understanding. "We're still moving in, and don't act like you have any authority here. This isn't your house anymore. You need our permission to step foot inside. Ollie spat, his hostility catching me off guard. I insisted, we need to talk about this house. It's not yours yet. Let me explain. Emily cut me off. I've already called someone who can explain it better, and he'll be here soon. Come inside for tea. If you don't, I'll call the police, and they'll tell you the same thing. This house doesn't belong to Emily. So, let's go in now. If you try anything, I'll be the one to call the cops, I said firmly, unsettling them. Ollie smirked. Well, it might be the last time we hear an old woman's rambling. You're getting up in age. We'll listen, but if you waste our time with nonsense, you'll pay. Sitting with crossed legs, Emily glared at me with the same expression. It felt like they had bullied others before. It saddened me. Soon, the doorbell rang, and I let the lawyer into the living room. He was the same one who helped with my husband's will. You're the same lawyer, right? We saw the will that says the house belongs to Emily. Her dad even said so. Isn't that the truth? Ollie pushed. As I mentioned earlier, there's been a misunderstanding. The will had a condition, and if it's not met, the inheritance changes, the lawyer clarified. Why are you trying to confuse us with complicated terms? Emily said, frustrated. The lawyer took over, seeing their confusion. It's called a conditional bequest with revocation. In your father's will, the condition was that Susan could stay in the house as long as she's healthy. Emily would only inherit if Susan couldn't live here due to health reasons or passed away. Your father made it very clear. Both Ollie and Emily looked completely bewildered. Did he really say that? Even if he did, we don't remember. What's this talk about revocation? Emily asked, shaking her head. Okay, but what about these conditions? Ollie asked, slightly rattled but still defiant. By trying to evict Susan, you violated the terms of the will. Emily's right to inherit the house is now void, the lawyer explained. Wait, you're saying just because of that, she can't inherit? That's absurd, Emily fumed. That's the crux of it. Breaking the condition, whether small or big, voids the inheritance, the lawyer calmly repeated. When did we break that condition? Can you prove it? Ollie leaned in, attempting to intimidate. Clearing his throat, the lawyer responded. The moving truck outside, arranged by you two, is evidence. You tried moving in without Susan's consent. We didn't do anything wrong. We told Mom, and she forgot, then panicked. That's not on us, Emily protested. Childish excuses won't work in the real world. Not only did you move in without permission, but you also threw my belongings outside, demanding I leave, the lawyer shot back. I never said that. My own mother is lying. If you keep accusing me, I'll sue you. Do you want to be sued by your own daughter? Take it back, Emily threatened. Unfazed, the lawyer showed his phone. We can't take back the truth. Multiple witnesses heard and saw you tell Susan to leave. We've recorded their statements. He played video testimonies from movers and neighbors, all confirming the story. You could have paid them to say that. How do we know this is true? Ollie accused, but the lawyer continued calmly, producing a key. Emily, you took Susan's key and threw it away, witnessed by several people. I found the key exactly where they said you tossed it. Changing the lock so Susan couldn't enter broke the condition, meaning you violated the inheritance. Don't talk like you can say whatever you want. If I want, I can ensure you never work as a lawyer again, Ollie shouted, but the lawyer remained steady. As a result, this house will never be Emily's, and you have no right to live here. Remove your belongings and return Susan's things now. If you delay or try to stay, we'll report breaking and entering to the police. You have 2 hours. Start now. The lawyer snapped his fingers and glanced at his watch. Police? Don't think you can scare me, Ollie blustered, but the lawyer calmly replied. I'm a professional. This isn't a joke. Getting into trouble with the police will only make things worse for you. Ollie finally realized this wasn't an empty threat, and both he and Emily started sweating. We're sorry, we'll put everything back. Please, don't call the cops, Emily pleaded as they rushed outside, but the movers refused to help them. Ollie had to rent a car and reload everything. Just loading it up isn't enough. You need to put everything back in place. If Susan's belongings are damaged or dirty, clean them. Any damage will be reported, and you'll face charges, the lawyer reminded them as they frantically worked to restore the house. After they were done, Emily tearfully asked, What now? What do we do? How should I know? This is all because of your dad's weird will, Emily snapped at Ollie, but they eventually left in defeat. I thanked the lawyer and returned to my home, filled with memories of my late husband. Feeling a weight lifted, I later learned that Ollie and Emily had caused trouble in their previous town and were after my inheritance. Now they were gone. Emily, having chosen this life with Ollie, seemed destined to repeat her mistakes. It hurt, but it was her path. If they ever wanted to change and live honorably, I'd be there to help. My husband had said something similar once. For now, I'll enjoy the house we shared. Maybe I'll even go skydiving, something my husband wanted to do. Looking up at the stars, I felt him encouraging me, and a tear fell as I smiled. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Stay tuned.